Cancer, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-February 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Cancerians. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for the Cancer Collective in the month of love? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And then at the very end, I'm going to pull you a shadow card from Tarot of Sacred Kingdoms. It's an interesting deck, so it's always very insightful. Let's get it going, though. Let's rock and see what we got for Cancer here in mid-February, please and thank you. Guys, first card out for my friends. What do we got going on? And the deck is being a little specific. Okay, big card of creation here in the front end. We have an archangel energy looking at that baby, looking at that creation. So there are a lot of themes here. It could represent focus, it could represent manifesting, all sorts of things. Good energy, though. Before we fully dive into it, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little bit about this card. So we see this individual, and it's hard to see the wings in the background if you look at the image, but this is an angel or an archangel looking down at this baby right here. So I feel a lot of different things. First and foremost, it could represent like guardian angels, spiritual protection, things like that. Very powerful theme of someone or something watching over you in a protective way. So for a lot of the Cancerians, this could be really encouraging in this time, specifically if you're going through a tough time. Like, listen, you have the spiritual support around you. But notice, he is focused on that baby here. So there could be a focus about creating. A lot of you could be purposely trying to manifest something, manifest the situation or result. And it is all about creating. I do love this energy. Another note that I always like to add to this, the fact that he is so intensely looking at that baby, it could represent literal focus. So you might be under someone's microscope, or you might have someone or something under your microscope, like watching something, keeping tabs. That's a big possibility, but we're just going to leave him right over there. It feels very protective, though, for the most part. Let's get into tarot now. And yeah, I always say this first card over here, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright here. What do we got for the Cancerians? We're going to shuffle it up one time, and while we do, let's talk about last week's reading. And one quick note before we jump into that, yeah, the midweek this week, I'm going to do your February bonus, so keep an eye out for that. But last week's reading was titled A Sudden Change. And the big theme I was picking up in the Cancer reading last week was not just one thing changing, but possible multiple things, whether it's emotional changes, changes in work situations, changes in relationship dynamics. It was all very sudden. It was all very powerful. So a lot of Cancerians could be going through a time of metamorphosis, and that was showing up huge. So let's see what we have for you this week. It should be intriguing, right? Let's get you 3. And as you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, right? Because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. So let's get 3 cards. Enough of all that. What do we got for Cancer here mid-February, please? Yeah, the Magician. So all that stuff I was speaking about with this archangel, about creation, manifesting, focus, it's showing up right here on the front end. Beautiful, beautiful energy for us to lead off with. Now, there's a lot of undertones here. It's a very spiritual vibe and energy. We'll talk more about that Magician. Very ritualistic as well. Let's get a couple more. What do we got for Cancer here, please? Okay, we'll move on. And for those of you new here, I only read jumpers. That's why I'm doing these little shuffles. All right, we have the 9 of Swords. Somebody could be a little uptight, nervous, high-strung. It's all good, though. That energy passes with time. Let's get one more. What do we got? What's happening? Ace of Cups. Wow. All right, so we have a bit of a mixed bag here, and I do feel a lot of positive energy here for you, Cancer. So, yeah, we're going to have to talk about it. There's a lot of internal things happening as well. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, once again, it's a bit of a mixed bag. It doesn't all have to be your energy, but we have this powerful Magician. We have sword energy. We have cup energy. Now, major arcana are powerful themes and energies that can affect us. Swords and cups represent the inner world, whereas, pardon me, the swords represent the mind and communication. Cups represent the emotions and the heart. So there's a lot of internal energy flowing through the Cancerians this week. But let's go through one by one. Remember, it could be multiple situations. It could just be one. But let's start here in the beginning and really build this out. Position number one, we have the Magician. So a lot of the things I was saying about that Oracle card apply here with this Magician as well. Extremely powerful energy here. So it could be an energy conduit of some sort. You might be channeling your energy, channeling your focus in one particular direction. Whenever the Magician is in the mix, I say that it could literally be you manifesting, whether you know it or you don't. So in this time for the Cancerians, your powers of creation, once again, whether you're doing it purposely or not, are heightened here. Like what you focus on, what you put action towards could really start to materialize with this Magician. Now, there's other notes to this card as well. Notice he's the master of all elements. There's also the infinity symbol. There is a link to source energy. So there's just this powerful spiritual inclination whenever the Magician is in the mix. A lot of you might be exploring your own spirituality. You might be doing rituals of various different kinds when the Magician is in the mix. Now, the one challenge that I always speak about with the Magician, and this doesn't have to apply to all of you, it could sometimes represent an individual in your life that might be a little controlling. My way or the highway type of energy, or someone's like, no, I can't stand when I don't have control. But we'll see when we clarify it. We don't have to put a negative into a card that's not. Moving to the center, we have the Nine of Swords. And I always say you really don't need to be an expert in tarot to understand what this card means. We see this person, they're sitting up in their bed, look, they have their hands in their face, like, oh, like they're either weeping or stressing out in a very big way. So this card could focus on several different things. One, this could be either you or someone you're connected to that is just highly stressed out, anxious, or nervous, right? It's anything with that, the overthinking or anything that's really wound tight. All right, it's a high-strung type of energy. For a portion of you, make sure you're getting proper rest and relaxation in this time. I wouldn't be surprised if a good chunk of you are having sleep problems in this time, waking up a lot at night, having funky dreams, things like that, because this does focus on sleep. But another thing I always link in with this card is a connection to the paranormal. Okay, so when we have the Magician and we have the Nine of Swords, there is some sort of paranormal sensitivity here as well. I know that message is kind of out there, but for a lot of Cancerians in this time, I wouldn't be surprised if you're having some paranormal experiences, more so than usual. Okay? I know a lot of Cancerians are born with the gift, but it's heightened. All this energy is heightened in this time. So let's keep moving. On the back end, we have the Ace of Cups. Beautiful, lovely card. Now, this could represent love. This could represent connections, emotional connections. I say with all aces, they represent opportunities, they represent offers, and they could also be communication or talks. Ace of Cups could just be feelings that someone has for you or your feelings in general here. In the upright, it is absolutely lovely. So we'll see if it's an opportunity, offer, talk, or whatnot, but it's feeling very deeply whenever this card is in the mix. So when I see this whole combination of things going on, there is a lot of internal energy at play. And it doesn't all have to be a challenge. It does feel like a bit of a mixed bag. For some of you, there could be a romantic or an emotional attachment that's really highly on your mind. But I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for the Cancerian. See what's happening. Guides and Spirit team. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Magician here. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Cancer, you could drop it right in the comments. I don't mind at all. Do not mind whatsoever. You won't offend me. Let's go in on the Magician. What is this manifesting? Where's the Magician here, please? Yeah, the deck is being super, super specific for you this week. Usually the cards pop out within the first couple of shuffles. But we're going to make it happen. What do we got? Why is there it is? Thank you. Devil in reverse, good. Improvements, things getting better. For some of you, watch out, specifically if you have a connection to Capricorn, you might find them a little extra overbearing in this time. Now, the Capricorns get the Devil card only because of the goat symbolism. For a small portion of you, we may see a warning as the reading progresses with this devil in reverse. For a lot of you, this is a big problem-solving type of energy. So a lot of you might be in the mode where there's a particular serious situation or a problem where it's like, okay, I need to figure this out, and I need to figure it out now. I need to figure it out yesterday. It's giving me that kind of vibe. Magician with the devil in reverse is somebody getting something under control as well. Okay, so whatever this situation is, whatever this problem might be, I do feel it getting under control and getting in line. That's a really good thing. Now, remember, this could just be all in the mind, okay? The devil doesn't just have to be material things, and we do have this stress-based type of card. You might be trying to put someone's mind at ease or put your own mind at ease as well, but it's like, yeah, I need to control this. I need to control these thought patterns. I need to control this situation, whatever it might be. And I see that happening here on the front end with the devil in reverse under the magician. For a portion of you, watch out for any sort of dark spirituality, and I don't like to throw that message around lightly, but whenever we get the magician with the devil, even though it's in reverse, just watch out for any sort of spiritual practices that are not done in the light, if you get my drift. But let's keep moving. Once again, it could just be like obsessive thoughts or somebody trying to get their mind right. So there might be a specific thought or scenario in your mind that you're overthinking. Let's keep moving over to the Nine of Swords. And remember, if that's somebody else, like their mind could be plagued. I mean, I know I'm giving a lot of messages. Let's just keep it moving here. Let's keep it moving. Why is the Nine of Swords in the mix? I mean, 3 of the 4 cards are paranormal cards too. I just got to point that out again. Hanged Man. Okay. Somebody's having a really difficult time resolving something, whether within themselves or in general. This could be someone that's feeling a little bit stuck. Like, all right, well, when is this going to shift? When is this going to change? Now, the Hanged Man in the upright, it is analytical. It's somebody that could be watching, keeping tabs. That's another thing as well here. But it's not the biggest movement based, and it is all about thinking and planning. So when I see it underneath this Nine of Swords, it's just giving me that vibe of somebody whose thought process, they feel stuck, or they're stuck in a thought loop. Like, it's giving me thought loops here, especially with the devil on the front end. So in this time, Cancer, remember, if this isn't your energy, if this is someone that you're connected to, they could be highly anxious, nervous, stressed, or their mind can be a mess. It's like thought loops, thinking the same thing over and over and over and over. That's just what it's making me feel here intuitively. So only take that if it hits. Now, the Hanged Man could represent a Scorpio, and it could represent a Virgo. Some people link both signs to that. And I don't feel... I'm feeling resistance here in the middle. That's the best way to put it. Because remember, I said getting something under control. Now we have this Hanged Man under the Nine of Swords. It just feels stuck. So I want to see if we get a resolution when we get over to this Ace of Cups, because we might have a breakthrough of some kind. We'll see what's up with that. So let's go in on the Ace of Cups. You already get the point. Someone's going through one. So why is the Ace of Cups here? Could have a couple of warnings here about the mind state, thought loops, nervousness, all that stuff. So why is that Ace of Cups in the mix for you? Thank you. Yep, 7 of Pentacles in reverse here. Yeah, this isn't giving me the nicest vibe here, Cancer. Somebody could be very much emotionally erratic when I get this energy here. Feeling very impatient is another thing that we could be picking up as well. So the 7 of Pentacles could be a karmic energy when we see it. The fact that it's in reverse does imply things moving and not having to wait, or it just feels erratic to me. So we do have an emotional warning within this whole spread itself this week, so that's something to watch out for. I'm getting this vibe, and I'm going to give the message, only take it if it hits. And remember, this doesn't have to be yours. And I try to stray away from some of these messages I've been given. But to me, it's someone saying, like, am I being punished for something? Like, what did I do wrong? Like, it's giving me that vibe. So only take that however it hits. It's like, did I do something wrong? Do I have a karmic debt? Am I being punished for something? It's like giving me that type of energy. So watch out for beating yourself up. Don't beat yourself up in this time. All right, that's another thing I'm seeing. But the emotional warning here on the back end, right? It just feels very volatile. So I do see control overall coming into the situation, like things getting right, but it might be a process. So let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. So different vibe than what we were seeing last week. If you kindly look in the box, Cancer, position number 1, we have the Magician with the Devil in reverse. And I did say, yeah, there's this manifestation energy around you, which is true. I was getting big problem solving, like, listen, I need to get this under control and get it under control now. I need to fix this. Someone trying to get their mind right. It could be obsessive thoughts, which we also saw here in the center. So this could be a bit of a warning. I did say watch out for any sort of dark spirituality. Make sure you're cleansing yourself, keeping yourself protected. Super important here. There's a lot of paranormal factors as well. Moving to the center, we have the Nine of Swords with the Hanged Man in the upright. To me, this does feel like someone who feels stuck, mentally stuck. This could be someone that is very much anxious and nervous, like stressing something out. And it was giving me the energy of thought loops, like someone obsessively thinking a thought over and over and over and over. On the back end, we have the Ace of Cups with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. This is that emotional warning I picked up. And I gave that little message of someone possibly feeling like they're being punished for something. So be kind to yourself in this time and don't beat yourself up. Very important here. So a couple of things to keep an eye out for, but it is what it is, right? We'll take it as it comes, and this energy will move out eventually. But yeah, please take a screenshot if you want to look into further, Cancer. Let's get you a shadow card now. We'll get a little more insight when we look into the shadows. What's in the shadows for Cancer, please, my guides? And yes, I always like to pull one of these at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see just yet. Shadow card doesn't always have to be a challenge, so let's see what we have for you, Cancer. What do we got? Oh, and yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it down in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love and appreciation for my channel members. Let's get it going here. One shadow card for Cancer. One shadow card. Thank you. Okay, Five of Swords, conflicted. Makes sense. For a very small portion of you, watch out for cold individuals, selfish individuals in this time. In its most extreme sense, this could be a very self-centered, narcissistic individual. Obviously, that's not for every single Cancerian out there. But when I see the Five of Swords, I'm going to give you a challenge message, but I'm also going to give you a positive. This Five of Swords can be conflict-based. And with all the mental conflict we're seeing, once again, it's pointing to somebody going through a difficult time here, especially in the mind. But the Five of Swords is also a card of the self and determination. So for a portion of you, Spirit might just be saying, like, listen, Cancer, their problems are not your problems. Okay, what they're going through, yes, you can have empathy for them. You could help them if they need it, but focus on yourself a little bit. Maybe bring your energy back home. That's a big vibe we're picking up here with the Five of Swords. It doesn't have to be mean and aggressive and me type of energy. Sometimes this could be a really good positive energy of determination and forward movement. So I would say this is, once again, a mixed bag type of energy that we have here in the shadows, Cancer. So do with that what you will, my friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The February subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, please feel free to go over to my website, mastermetaphysics.com, to check out my digital calendar. But for the February subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my go-to decks, and it is absolutely awesome. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot suits, which one vibes with your energy the best? Is it the Wands, the Pentacles, Cups, or Swords? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of February, I'll announce winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.